Hi, we're back.
We're back.
Sorry, there was a police car pulled up out in front of our house, and the lights are on, and the siren went off, and we didn't know exactly what was going on, but they pulled somebody over. They were probably speeding, or I don't know what's going on. On our street, it's not a real safe neighborhood where we live at, but it's much safer than Dallas. Places we lived in Dallas. Is your belly hurting?
No, I had surgery on Tuesday,
Yeah.
and they had to blow up my belly, and all that gas is coming back out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. So anyways, that's why the police are out front. We hear sirens all day long, all night long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week where we live at, because there's an ambulance bay about a block or block and a half away from our house. And then we hear the fire trucks going a lot over to the VA. We live over right behind the VA, but there's like a big lawn between us and a nice pond for, I guess, ducks or something like that.
Used to be a golf course.
Ah, that's what. I'm not originally from this part of Illinois. I'm from the Monticello and White Heath area. That's where I'm originally from. Chris is from the Danville area in Illinois, which is about 5 miles from the Indiana border on their west side in central
East
Indiana.
side.
Or their east side, yeah.
Oh, well,
No, it's their west side.
we're in eastern Illinois. How about that?
Yeah, it's East Central Illinois. Anyways, I've been working with the Chloe yarns, and I went to go get the one that was called Carnation, and they only had like a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them at most. And I saw this, and at first when I grabbed them, I'm like, I thought they were the same, and it wasn't. They were off by a little bit. I think the Carnation one was pink, white, like a darker beige color, and some blue or purple or something. And then this one here that I have is called Breezy Sunrise, and it is pink, purple, creamish tan color, and some blue, and a little bit of teal. I think that's it. It doesn't have any white in it. I don't think it's got any white. Anyways, I'm making a sweater, and I'm making the one panel for the back first. And this is all I've gotten done so far, because with my arthritis, my hands don't work so well to go fast. And I'm amazed at how fast some of you ladies get your projects done. I'm not able to do that. I have problems with arthritis, and as you see, my pinky finger does not unbend. I have some joint damage going on in my hands, and that's my worst finger, but some of my other fingers are having issues. My thumb is real bad on this hand, in the joint itself. And then my right hand is starting to do the same thing with it. This pinky finger is starting to have the same problems. I don't get to go as fast, but this is just alternating rows of single crochet with, I believe it's called the cluster stitch. It's where you crochet a single crochet first, then a double crochet, and then you close it off with a slip stitch, all in one stitch. Then you chain one, and you go skip a hole, and you go into the next hole and do the same thing, clear across the whole row. But one thing I like to do is I put 2 to 3 single crochets at the beginning of the row, and then at the end of the row. Because if you don't, the ends end up off alignment and stuff. This one hasn't done too bad so far. I think I've shrunk it down a little bit on this one side. I decreased on there somehow on this one, but the other side's pretty straight. So, but it makes a nice color fading back and forth and back and forth. And so I think it's really pretty. It reminds me, the texture of this reminds me of a sweater that I had when I was a teenager. and I loved to wear it. It was just so comfortable, and it was soft and pretty, and it made me feel like I was pretty and girly. I was more of a tomboy back then, so for something to make me feel girly was pretty special. And I've been working on dishcloths and bath washcloths, and I made my first textured washcloth. On one side, I made like these spiral rings of texture where it bumped out, kind of like in those hats. They go down and there's sections, and it just kind of ripples all the way down. It's like that in the dishcloth in the circular. I did it in the round. And then on the other side, it had kind of a spun look to it. I used cable stitching to do it, and like front post double crochets is what I did, and in the round and everything. And then on the other side, I flipped it over, and I made kind of like a bath loofah, and then I attached it to the center of the cloth I'd made, and then it has two sides of texture. It's got the ripples on the one side, and then on the other side it has the loofah-like thing. And then I put a border of it's almost like, I'm trying to think what those things are called. I can't think of them right now, but it's almost like a fan stitch or something like that. It's got 5 crochet stitches in the same hole, but I chained 5, made a loop, and then I went back around and I actually did 15 double crochets in each loop. So it's kind of similar to what I learned when I made the virus shawl. And I thought it turned out real pretty, kind of girly, made it look like a flower, and I liked it a lot, and I'm learning some new stuff. I'm also going to work on, I'm pretty sure y'all remember the Proper Pineapple. Holly at the Proper Pineapple had her very first doll pattern that she gave out that was called Lavender, and you could go online and purchase it on her website, or Ravelry. And anyways, I purchased it quite a while ago, and then I also purchased the spine and the shoe inserts for the dolls. And I hadn't made it because I've been working on other projects, and in fact I'm still working on an Afghan, around the world Afghan for my son. His name's John, for his Christmas/birthday, because it's taken me so long to get it done. And then I also have another big Afghan that I had run out of yarn of that particular color when I was making a big Afghan for my daughter. Her name's Melissa. And I couldn't find the yarn again because it had gone out of stock and they discontinued it, quit making it. And it sat in a little tote bin for probably close to 10 years because I couldn't get the yarn. And then I went shopping at Joann Fabrics. They had a really good sale, and I had coupons and stuff. And I ended up getting Karen 1-pounders and the Karen Jumbo pounds, or Jumbo. Anyways, it's the big ones. And I found some that actually matched up nicely with her blanket that I had already started, and now I can complete it. So hopefully it'll work out nice and stuff. And I think that's all I've got so far. I do have just a picture of it. It doesn't have the pattern stuff where you can see it. But that's the doll I'm going to be making, and I'm going to donate it to our church ladies group because they raise funds for the Women's Care Clinic here in Danville, Illinois, and they the money that they raise in November, they have a dinner and a lunch that they host, and then they have a craft sale inside as well from all of the crafts that us ladies have created over the year. And then,
I'll pause it for a minute.
okay. Okay, we're back. So sorry about that.
We're back.
We just have a lot of noise going on out front, and we just found out that another police car's arrived out to back up the first officer. So more than likely, it's not a regular traffic stop. It's a drug bust, more than likely.
Well, there's 2 cops and a lady standing outside the cars.
Yeah. So more than likely, that's what it is. I purchased Holly's pattern right when it first came out and everything. I printed it out, and these are those plastic sleeves I was telling you about, with the 3-hole punches, and then I keep them in a binder and everything so that they stay nice and clean and they don't get all bent up and stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna practice a doll first and make sure I can do it, because I've never made any amigurumis before. No, I haven't made any dolls, any toys, or anything like that. So that's this will be my very first stuffed toy that I've done, and I'm going to if I can make it properly and it looks nice, then I'll make a second one, because once you get done with the first one, you learn from it, and your second one's even better. Then I'll go through and I'll make it properly and put the doll spines and shoe inserts in that, and then I'll make it pretty with the hair and all of that, and then I'll donate that. Shasta, please, no barking. Shasta, no barking. And then Shasta, no barking. And then I'll donate it to the ladies group at church so that they can do a raffle during that dinner and craft sale that goes on every year in November here in Danville. And another thing that I've started is with the Women's Care Center group, they have had a graduation ceremony. We actually got to attend the banquet. It was April 30th, I believe. We got to attend a banquet, and I dressed up fussy and got makeup on and dolled up, and he got a suit and tie on, and he's looking pretty sharp there. Pretty fly for a white guy. Anyways, sorry, bad innuendos. But we dressed up nice and had a good evening. It was a nice dinner, and they had a graduation ceremony for the ladies who finished and completed the program. And what it is they bring these ladies in and they talk to them about, the women are pregnant. They talk to them about not having an abortion. It's a pro-life type thing. And what they do is they explain to the ladies that they do have the ability and the right to keep their baby. They don't have to abort their baby. And they also have sonogram machines, and they show them right then and there when they come in for the appointment what their baby looks like on a sonogram. And it's really neat program. They give them life skills, managing, coping skills, how to budget money. They work with the ladies. You're wiggly tonight.
Sorry.
They work with the
I
ladies.
usually don't sit still this long.
They work with the ladies to go back to school, and they may graduate an associate's degree program. Some of them may even go on for bachelor's and master's degrees program, depending on what they're studying. And the ladies and their spouses were present, or their boyfriends, significant others, and then they were allowed to bring their child with them that they went through the program with. And it was such a blessing to see all the babies, and everybody loves babies and everything, but
Especially her.
Yeah. Anyways, it was a really neat program to go and be a part of. It was a blessing to to both of us, but especially me. When we were down in Texas, the church that we were a part of, quick, the church that we were a part of while we were down in Texas, United Disciples Christian Church in Richardson, Texas. We went there, and one of the ladies volunteered her time because she crochets and knits, and she had this group of ladies she was teaching at the church to crochet, and they were doing baby blankets and lay-it sets, and then they would donate them to the county hospital in Dallas, Texas, down there, which is the Parkland Hospital. And which is kind of strange because here in Illinois, I went to school, and the college that I graduated from is Parkland College. So that was kind of a neat connection for me, Parkland College, Parkland Hospital. And anyways, I was part of the group, and we made the baby blankets and the lay-it sets for the moms, for the low-income moms that didn't have anything to take their babies home from the hospital in down there in Texas. And then I got up here and went to this event April 30th, and I was so inspired by the ladies in the group. I was spoken to. God spoke to my heart and said that I needed to start a program like that up here. So if any of you are from Illinois, Central Illinois especially, and you'd like to be a part of the Women's Care Clinic baby blanket program, it can be baby blankets, lay-it sets, things like that, and you want to donate those, I will leave my email address in the description of the video when I post this, so that if you want to be a part of it, you can. And then I can also send you my contact information once you send me a message that you're interested. Chris and I, we attend Christ Way Church here in Danville, Illinois, and Pastor Doug is our pastor here, and we love our church. It's a small church, very close-knit, family-oriented church, and it's old-fashioned values like I like, and it just feels like we're at home there. And a lot of you see that I post Bible scriptures and stuff on my Instagram and on my Facebook, and a lot of the ladies that I've become friends with over the last several years that I've been on Facebook, especially with the crochet programs that I've gotten involved with. Where was I going with that? See, I go blank. Sorry.
You were talking about people being able to donate to the.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure.
Clinic.
I'll make sure that you have a link to my email address, and then I can make sure you get information to contact me or the Women's Care Clinic here in Danville, Illinois. Oh, and I was talking about my Bible scriptures that I post on my Instagram and on my Facebook. And I do that because that's something that I feel God has asked me to do that. And, yes, I'm a Christian. No, I'm not perfect. We're not here We're not here to be perfect. Anyways, we tease a lot, so you'll get used to it.
No, you probably won't.
Anyways, I'll be the first to admit, everyone still has sin in their life. My biggest hang-up is when I get extremely upset and angry about something, I'll say bad words. I just fly off the handle once I've been pushed too far, and I'll say bad words. Because something in my brain shuts down and it just comes out. And it's not anything that, there's been times I don't even realize that I've done it or said it. because I'm not consciously aware of it. Anyways, nobody's perfect. We all try. Everybody makes mistakes. The most important thing is that we just continue to do what we can and be of service to God and follow through with what He's called us to do.
Stay down.
I think that's it for now. This is right at 20 minutes, so I don't want to keep it too long and get everybody bored. But I'm going to start up a blog, or not a blog, video chat like you've seen. I'm not sure how often I'll have stuff to talk about because I'm not able to work. I stay at home. Right now, my biggest events of the day are going to physical therapy.
And sleeping.
And you're gonna get really in trouble when we're done. But yeah, I do sleep a lot because I can't keep my pain under control. I have not only joint pain from my arthritis, I've got degenerative disc disease in my back as well, and I also have issues with nerve endings, neuropathy. I've got neuropathy in my hands and in my feet and in my back. And there's times where the pain from the arthritis in my back and the disc disease in my back conflicts with the neuropathy. In those days, I sleep a lot because the pain is so intense, I can't keep it under control. Do you need to get up so you can take him potty?
Well, I need to go to the bathroom myself.
Okay. Well, okay. Unplug that and then plug me back in. Anyways, that's what my day consists of. And not every day do I have to use a walker to get around. Just especially on my really bad pain days. Hold on a second. He was holding that, so I had to move my stuff off my lap. Anyways, on my really bad days when I have intense pain, nerve ending pain, and joint pain, disc pain, stuff like that, that's when I have to use my walker because it messes with the muscle control in my legs, and I tend to drag my foot when I walk a lot on my right foot. Then I have a lot of joint pain in my left knee right now and my left hip and my low back, across the whole thing. I also have seizures where it starts out as a headache, and then, oh, I hope it didn't. Is that still recorded? Yeah, I guess it is. Anyways, it starts out as a headache, then it turns into a migraine headache, and then it affects the vision in my eye, and in my ear I get a lot of pain and everything, and it messes with my balance. Well, then if it gets to the part where I start having seizures, my headache gets so intense across the bottom of my head, around the base of my skull, that the swelling gets so intense, and it lifts the skull up away from my head, and it feels really strange when it does that. And it makes it where I can't speak. I don't know if it's like pinches a nerve or something, but it messes with my brain signals where my thought process can't come out my mouth. And there's times where I've had to literally signal to Chris, and he has to guess what's going wrong, and I can't talk and tell him because it's so intense and everything. And then there's been times where I've been asleep and woken up in intense pain, and one particular time I couldn't move my arms and legs when I woke up, and we had to go to the emergency room, and then by the time we got finished there, I was feeling a little bit better, and I was able to walk a little bit better with my walker to be able to go home. But it was hard on me for a few days after that I had that happen. So if you see people my age, I'm 50, this isn't supposed to happen to me. This isn't a part of who I am, or I could say who I was. It's changed a lot of things in my life, not for the good, and it limits what I can do now. Anyways, I'm not looking for sympathy. Don't say, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's not. That's not it. It's just to inform you out there that there are people out there. You look at them and they're young and they're using a walker and they think, "Oh yeah, you're fake. You're hurting. You're not hurting. You know, you can go to work. You can do this. You can do that." And really, you can't. And they just don't understand it. They think that everyone at my age is healthy and my age can go out and lift, you know, a weight that we shouldn't lift, and or we can't lift, and just, oh well, you can do this or you can do that. No, it's not that way at all. There's times where I can't feel my legs because they're numb. They're, every day is different, and the weather, when it storms, whether it's snow or rain or whatever, it does affect the different pressure fronts that come through and move through, affect my ability to walk and my pain levels for that day. So, and there's a lot of us ladies that are out there, and you see people with depression and anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder and all of that, and they're so worried that someone else is going to look down on them because of the fact of what they're going through. And it's genuinely something that cannot be helped. And I know I'm serious now. I know, I don't smile much, but when I do, you know I'm having a really good day, or I just feel happy because I've been around others and stuff. But I've always been a pretty serious person. I'm the oldest girl in my family. I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister. And, it's a lot of responsibility sometimes for the oldest girl, which is not a big deal. It's been that way. You just get used to it. And so you always have to make sure that the others stay out of trouble or whatnot. Anyways, I've talked enough, I guess. I don't want to bore you, but look forward to seeing another video with a better attitude, more upbeatness. I had physical therapy earlier today, and then I had to go have blood drawn, and this new medication I've taken just wiped me out. Today it's made me tired, and it'll just take a couple weeks, and I'll get used to taking it, and then I'll increase my dose again, and it's just really knocking me for a loop. I'm a lightweight when it comes to pain medication. I always ask for the lowest possible dose because I don't like to feel all loopy and disoriented. That's just not me. I never have. And as far as, TV and stuff like that, we don't watch TV. We don't own a TV. We watch Netflix on our phone, and then on Chris's laptop. That's Chris's entertainment, is Netflix, and that's part of our phone service. So we really try to be careful and mindful of what we watch. I don't usually watch anything other than comedy, chick flicks, and we watch a lot of the kids' movies because of the fact that there's not all the profanity and not all the violence in them and things like that. We choose to do our best to lead by example. It's not always easy, but we do our best. And, if we can bring light and happiness to somebody else and make their day even better with compliment or praying with them or, just visiting with them and making them feel joy in their heart, even for just a little bit. That's what we're here to do. So, thank you very much. Probably in our next podcast, we'll introduce our 4 doggies. We have 2 littles and 2 bigs. The 2 littles, Rizzo Magoo, she's 13. She's a full-blood Chihuahua. She's the larger type, longer legs. She's just a little bit bigger. And then our next oldest is Bear. He's my best bud. He's my personal bodyguard. He's a Jack Russell Terrier and a Chihuahua mix, and he's 3.5, and his name is Grizzly Bear, but I call him Bear. And he's Bear. He's my honey boy, that kind of stuff. He's real sweet on me, and he is very in tune with my physical health issues, and he alerts my husband if something's wrong, and which is good. I'm grateful that he's that in tune with my health needs and stuff. It makes it a lot easier for Chris to know that something's wrong. And then our third oldest is Shasta. He is his name is Shasta Duke. He is a bull mastiff mixed with a Labrador retriever, and he is a 1.5 years old now. And we adopted him from the Dallas ASPCA, I think is what it's called down there. Up here in Illinois, they call it the Humane Society, but I'm pretty sure it's ASPCA down in Dallas. We adopted him, and at 4 months, 3 or 4 months old, he weighed 35 or 40 pounds when we got him, and I could barely carry him at the time, and I couldn't have carried him now at this point, but when we got him, oh, he's such a sweetheart, very calm demeanor, laid back. We got him because we worked on training to so that he can be a helper for my husband with his health issues and his service dog. And he is so gentle natured, but he's also very protective when he needs to be. And he lets me know and alerts me to when Chris doesn't feel well, and he may be having issues. You know how guys are, they don't say anything, they kind of hide that. Oh, I'm fine, leave me alone, I'm fine. And so Shasta's our other male. And then our 4th and last dog that we have is Princess, and her name is Princess Ginger, and that Ginger is in honor of my Ginger K that passed away in 2016, I believe. She had a seizure while we were on the road truck driving, and so I had to have her put to sleep because the doctor said she more than likely had a tumor in her brain. So, anyways, that was in honor of her. And Princess, she is a lab and a husky mix. Her mother was a full-blooded husky, and then she slipped out. Her owner didn't realize she'd gotten outside. When she did, she was in heat, and he didn't know that she was in heat. And so therefore, when she got out, she had the mailman visitor, and she had a litter of puppies, and we were blessed enough to be able to get one of the puppies out of the litter, which is our Princess. And she's very girly and feminine, and she just makes you smile. She's always smiling. She's a very happy dog and very soft-spoken, but she is protective of our home, which we're grateful for that. but she's just all bubbly. She's definitely a girly girl, and she prances around, and she just knows that she's just the most gorgeous doggy in the world, and she's something else. She's very sweet. So that brings me to a conclusion of our little family of my husband Chris, myself, I'm Carrie, and then our dogs Rizzo, Bear, Shasta, and Princess. And I look forward to talking with y'all again soon. And y'all have a good morning, a good day, a good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this. And may your lives be blessed.